Welcome back to an episode of Let's Build Twitter. We're on episode 75, and in this episode, we finally wrap up a refactoring of the register modal and register next button. We start out by attempting to store the password length inside the register slice to know when the next button should be active. Then we also set out to fix an issue with navigating to the home page after setting the password. We do this by creating a login property inside the register slice and using a useEffect to navigate when that property is set to true. Finally, we have to revisit the password length inside the register slice and change it to just store the password. That way we can send that password through the dispatch when we submit the password to the back end. As always, I'm Ethan or on Uncutter, and let's hop straight into the development. So we come back in here. Let me go ahead and clean this up so we don't need our verify anymore. And I think we can keep the rest the same for the time being. Again, we might go back and refactor some more. Now the last one is going to be this guy. Let's do what we need in this one. So finally, case 6. And let's get rid of this console log before I forget about it. So case 6 is going to return this guy. So let's take a look at what case 6 is going to return. So we need active. I don't know why they're different sometimes. We need disabled. We need on click. Okay, so now this one I can see being an issue because I don't know how we're going to get access to the password. I don't really want to put the password on there. What we could do is just say password length and call it a day, I suppose. So what we could do is say, okay, we have a password length, and this is a number, and then this will start out as I don't want to store the password in here because that's not a great idea. So password length number, and this will be start out as 0. And what we could do is inside of this guy is this stuff is fine, not worried about this, but what we could do is whenever we handle change, whenever we set the password, we'll say dispatch and update register, and we'll pass in the name of password length, and the value will be e.target.value.length. We'll get the length of that password and save. And then what we should be able to do is say active is equal to state.password length and state.password length. And then we still need the send to password. So what we could do is come back in here and send a password is just going to dispatch this. The navigate home might be a problem, although I don't think we want it in here because this part I found doesn't actually work. What we might want to do instead is, let's see. We do want to navigate home for sure. There's something that we might want like one last flag, and we want to maybe watch inside of a useEffect. This is the other bug that I really wanted to fix. I think that the best bet would be to say something like login boolean, right? And then so whenever we send to update the password and everything goes right, this will be false. So whenever we do the update user password and we have our fulfilled for update user password, what we'll do is we want to set the state for login equal to true, which will signify, hey, this user is logged in. And we probably also want to store the user info inside of local storage or something at this point, and then kind of go from there. So we'll go here, we'll set login true, And then what we'll do instead of navigating home in here, we'll have a useEffect. So we'll say, do we have useEffect in here? We don't. So we'll say useEffect, like so. And instead, we'll say useEffect, which watches the, I don't know if I just called it states, but state.login, right? So we'll watch state.login, and whenever state.login changes, so if state.login changes, so if this is true, what we want to do is we'll probably want to store some user info into local storage, right? That way we can load the user when we load the user to the user store or user slice when we hit the feed page. And then what we'd want to do is go ahead and do the navigate. So navigate to /feed. So before I was doing it with this awaits, and that doesn't work. This should work, I'm fairly certain. So this should work better, and it'll only trigger whenever state.login changes, which will be whenever it's successful, and so on and so forth. So what we'll go ahead and do now is we need to make the send password. I think that I deleted that. I did. So const send password. I don't know what this takes. Dispatch, and I'm guessing it's going to be update password. Excuse me, it is update user password. I don't know what it takes. Let's see. We'll go into a user slice. What does update user password take? So update user password takes in, it says body. Body is update password, and update password is a username and password. So we'll say username is states.username. And password is, I don't have the password. I'm going to have to store the password. That stinks. All right. Well, instead of password length, we'll just say password is a string. Nothing, and password will be a string. And what we'll do now is in register form 6, we'll say password, we'll update e.target.value. Okay. And we're gonna have to fix one more thing. Password dot length. Password dot length. That should fix that. And we should be able to access state.password. I didn't really want to have to put that there, but it is what it is. Now we should be able to update the password, which is fine. And yeah. So now we should be able to get the full experience and see if it takes us to the login page as expected. Make sure there's no errors. Awesome. We'll do this one last time. Let me clear out this. Okay. One last run through. Unknown Koder. Grab my email from temp mail. Just put a random date. Okay. That's fine. Sign up. Put in a phone number. Do that. Send me a code. Give it a second. Got my code. Copy and paste said code. Next, need a password. We can do this. This still works. That still works. Next. No routes for /feed. It did take us to the next route though, so that's good. And if I refresh my users, we have user the password and everything else that we expect. So that's good. I don't know what happened. Is it not called feed anymore? Let me take a look at what this was called. This and go. I can close out of this now. I can close out of this. And let me take a look at our app.tsx. Oh, it's called /home. But anyway, you guys get the picture. It worked. So I need to go back into my register form 6. Register form 6. And go to /home instead. Save. And /home. Whenever we get here, we should pull some information from probably local storage or something about the user, grab their information. And once we get to this point, if certain things like bio or nickname or profile picture, banner picture are empty, I want another pop-up, another modal pop-up. So that's what we'll also work on. So that's going to be it for now. There's still a few CSS things that I want to work on. But now that we kind of got to this point, I think I might be able to plan ahead. So that's gonna be it for now. I've been going for about 2 hours, so I'll have to pick this back up a little bit later. Unfortunately, that's gonna be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, please stick around for the next episode by hitting that subscribe button. You'll know exactly when it comes out, especially at that bell icon. If you did enjoy the content today, please sure to leave a thumbs up. If you did enjoy it, leave a thumbs down. Either way, it helps out with the algorithm all the same. And finally, if you have any suggestions or feedback for me, make sure you leave a comment down below. With that being said, I appreciate you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. Peace out, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.